All right, we're back, and this is the fourth week of. I don't. Who cares? It's the last. Is it?
It is the last.
It's the last Wednesday.
Came out, so.
Yeah, it's the last Wednesday of August. So quite a lot of comics out. Some that are really good, some that are really okay, and some that are really, really different. I'm willing to say that.
I'm not sure what you're going out for, but I'll give you.
My pick of the week.
Oh, okay.
Which is coming up later. Mara is not with us today. She is doing something for Nerdspan or Talking Comics. I'm not sure which, but she is recording.
I think it was Talking Comics, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what podcast are you doing? She's
Right.
like, Talking Comics. Oh, okay. I guess
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah. They people watch that. So, but you're watching us right now, and we cannot demonstrate our appreciation, or we won't demonstrate our
I
appreciation.
guess we could.
We could, yeah. We could like offer free comments, but we're not doing that. But what we will offer.
No, that's going to tie into my pick of the week.
Okay, never mind. We'll do that later. Maybe we will offer something for free because this stuff's so free.
Yeah, previews are free if you're a regular customer. Just
Okay.
some schmo off the side of the road.
Yeah.
I mean, say that, hey, I saw it on the podcast, I'll give you one, but
Yeah,
just
that would be pretty cool. We can give them that. That'll
previews.
that'll show our appreciation.
Sure.
Yeah, you come in here, you mention the podcast, you get a free. I don't know, spit it.
Yeah, show them that one.
A free preview, which is normally $4.50, and might I add, this is the 300th issue. They decided to
special collector's edition.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta buy 3.
What is going to be in this?
I'm gonna have to limit to 1 free copy because
Yeah.
I know you speculators are gonna try and get a bunch of 300 previews.
I wonder if they have order this from the first issue, which may be
Well, it does look like it.
They do actually, yeah. So this might be actually interesting. My preview is definitely not going to be the pick of the week. Or my pick of the week is not going to be. I got that backwards. The pick of the week is not going to be the preview, but it looks like
A little bit. I mean, there's talking about Walking Dead 100. I mean,
yeah. But I mean, they're talking about like Jim Lee, Chris Claremont, X-Men, and Death of Superman. So there's crap in this.
1 page.
Yeah, yeah, and then it goes right into like the actual business as usual. But you know what? You don't read.
It's free,
previews.
man. Come on.
You don't read previews for the
No.
stories. You don't read previews either, do you? I
I mean, I'll read the solicitations if it's something.
I'll read like the
But I'm not gonna read every page.
the free like teaser pictures or whatever, like free panels or stuff like that. They sometimes will include.
Yeah.
But also Marvel's
Dude,
Marvel's
just-
like
I just-
never mind. You didn't see it. They didn't see it. They didn't see it. Anyway, what's going on here?
Avengers thing.
Avengers. Y'all probably ready for us to talk about comics, aren't you? Well, we are going to talk about comics, but before Brian is able to talk about this, I don't want him to talk about this, and it's not my pick of the week, even though I am very excited about it. The second printing of the first volume of Amazing Spider-Man, the Omnibus, has come out. This bad boy is mine. It contains every issue of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's run on Amazing Spider-Man. And I know some of you are going, well, Jack Kirby did the art in some of those issues. He did.
That's true, but I think just the annuals and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just the annual.
And was it Amazing Fantasy too? No, that was Ditko too.
No, it was all Ditko. I think the only one in here that is you got Fantastic Four Annual 1, which is awesome that that's included.
Yeah.
And also Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1. There it is. But it is excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. And talk about essential comic reading.
What I'm always surprised by, like I hadn't read a lot of that stuff until, I mean, it was like 10 years ago or something, but the Spider-Man cartoon had already been on, and I was surprised at how much the cartoon stuck to these stories.
Yeah, and
That, you know, the 90s version of the cartoon.
I really think that, you know, like, you read, like, we had the omnibus of, like, the Silver Age Superman.
Yeah.
Like, none of that crap are we interested in reading. I mean, it's Superman fighting tigers and stuff like that. Like, that's... Are fighting aliens that are we're just aliens. We're here to blow up the planet. You know, it's really lame stuff. It probably doesn't even have that. It probably doesn't even have Superman flying in it.
You're talking about the Golden Age, not the Silver Age.
Golden Age. Sorry, Golden Age. Sorry, I was getting mixed up. But you know, I mean, that's stuff I'm not in for. I mean, granted, this stuff is more recent than Golden Age
It's
Superman, but
definitely
still.
the most readable Stan Lee stuff.
Exactly.
Like, I have trouble reading like Avengers and even the early Fantastic Fours, but this, pretty much from the start, is pretty fun. I mean, sometimes it's stupid or whatever, but
Yeah, I don't want to say it really holds up, but it is enjoyable.
yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But I'm not here to talk about that. Since Mara is not here, I'm here to talk about independent stuff. And I'm not really sure if Mara usually includes Vertigo in the independent stuff.
I think she decided she reclaimed it last time.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will start with Vertigo. First up, we have issue 2 of Collide. No, not Collider. It's called what? FBP. Sorry, let's go ahead and move that gigantic
You're holding up the comics.
the FBP, which was the artist formerly known as Collider.
That is an awesome way to do the cover.
Yeah, exactly. They just
flipping open the badge over the Collider logo.
right, and I think what it was that there was a very small webcomic that was called Collider.
Some comic in Sweden or something
Yeah,
place that had Collider already, and waited until, of course, #1 had already come out to start throwing around suing stuff.
But it's a very un-DC thing to do, where they're just like, "Oh, your small comic has that title. Okay, well, we'll change your name." Usually, I feel like it would be DC. They go like, "Well, screw you. We're more Collider than you are." I just think that the picture of DC as bullies.
Oh, okay.
All right, but anyway, there you go, issue 2. Man, anyone that's saying there's no more Vertigo, you couldn't be more wrong. Alan Moore's former creation, Tom Strong. Of course, this is not written by Alan Moore. You got Peter Hogan.
And really, sort of not a Vertigo book. Really, it's a Wildstorm book.
Right.
But they don't have Wildstorm anymore.
So
But Vertigo is back on the rise. Shelley Bond's finally in place and starting to. In the next few months, we'll see a lot more.
Right, but pretty interesting, self-aware kind of hero, but also a lot of action. Tom Strong.
Yeah, Tom Strong's cool.
That's the best way I can describe it.
I'm not
really.
sure what you mean by self-aware, but
Well, it's kind of, I mean, there's a lot of tropes and stuff that they hit that they know is kind of like cliche comic book and
yeah,
stuff,
I mean, it's
and
definitely
they play with that.
He's definitely a Doc Savage. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, even the name Tom Strong, but it's
no, I mean that was the idea with all those original the ABC books.
Yeah, but there you go. Issue 2 of 6, and there's a lot of Tom Strong miniseries and
it's
things
usually
like
good.
that.
Chris Sprouse is an awesome artist.
Yep. So you got good stuff coming out of there. And here's the big one, boys and girls. Everybody. I didn't know Jason Aaron was writing on this too.
Yeah,
Wow,
awesome.
this is gonna be awesome.
Jason Aaron, Greg Rucka.
Yeah. Gail Simone, Jeff Lemire, Ray Fawkes. You got a lot of good art and a lot of good writers. And I don't think you have any Scott Snyder in this, do you?
No, Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque do 2 stories in there.
Oh, do they really?
I think it's a part 1 or part 2, but yeah.
Still, you definitely getting your money's worth. I know it's $8, but you're getting a lot of good content. And if you love American Vampire, which to read American Vampire is probably to really love American Vampire, you're gonna like this stuff because it's a lot of artists and writers getting to dip their toes in that universe. Which normally they wouldn't have the opportunity
to give us a little taste while we're waiting for the series to start back up.
Which has been awesome because they could have just easily said, we're taking a year off, deal with it.
Right.
But they are giving stuff like every 2 to 3 months. They're giving you some pretty cool stuff to tie you over. And finally, Angel and Faith. I'll let you kind of tell us what's going on with Angel and Faith.
It's the last issue of season 9, so everything pretty much wrapped up in the last issue. This is the epilogue, but I can give you all kinds of spoilers. I don't think I want to do that though. But if you've been reading it, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody who died in another season is back, and it's been good. I've loved that book.
Cool.
It's been better than the Buffy book.
Excellent.
Which is kind of surprising. So I'm eagerly anticipating to see what they're going to do in season 10.
And I'm not reading it, but a very popular book, Lazarus, is issue 3.
Greg Rucka doing exactly what he wants to do. Doesn't have to worry about DC or Marvel telling him what to do.
Cool.
It's been really awesome.
Excellent. Well, I do have. There's one more. What?
No, go ahead. I was just like, do you even have any DC books?
I have 2. I have 2 that I have 3 actually.
Okay.
Unless I'm pulling something else that I don't know if I'm pulling. I don't think so. I think this is all I'm getting.
That's cool.
From DC. Also, The Unwritten came out, which I don't have a copy of that. But if you like Unwritten, there's another issue of that. And I think they're still doing their Fables.
Yeah, that's Fables crossover.
Or not tie-in, but crossover. Moving on to DC. There's a lot of DC stuff, but let's be honest, there's only a few great DC books, but of course I know some of you are fans of other books that I'm not fans of. If you want us to talk about that, remember, put it in the comments.
Then great is a strong word. I don't think there's anything great from DC.
Well, I'll
good,
get this.
but not great.
The art.
The art is great. I mean, unless you want backgrounds, and then
You're not getting that, but you got a good cliffhanger last month with Wonder Woman making her appearance. You got Batman, Superman. We got some Earth jumping going on there. Speaking of Earth jumping, I know that's a pretty jarring segue. Speaking of Earth jumping, though,
okay.
wait
I wasn't sure where you were going.
Wait to the end of Trinity War.
Yeah.
If that's spoiling anything for you, then you already had it spoiled for you. And DC, DC has
what you're talking about.
DC has made a pretty strong effort to spoil Trinity War for you.
Well, there's always a balance where do we tell people so they buy it, or do we leave it as a spoiler, or leave it as a surprise? And once again, they did not leave it as a surprise. Although there is surprising stuff in it. As I was flipping through, I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't realize that's what that was. So
yeah, I mean,
there's still a little bit in there.
There's some details.
But if you've seen much on the internet, you know kind of what is going to happen in Forever Evil.
I'm not a big fan of, do that once, but they did that twice.
I hate when they try to slow comic like that.
I mean, I love that Batman issue where you had to do that.
Well, that
was
cool.
different.
Yeah.
This is like 2 splash pages, but they could have easily had just...
It's very 90s to do it that way. I hate that. Just imagine, I mean, I don't care so much because I'm not a big digital fan, but how does that work on a digital comic book?
I guess I'll find out because I have the code for it. But that, as far as the New 52 DCU, that's pretty much it. That's, worth really getting excited about unless you dig Aquaman and Clayface, because Clayface is roaming around Gotham somewhere in there. But if you're a fan of just Superman stories, without having to worry about continuity or what exactly is going on or whether or not Superman's wearing a collar, well, we have this really, really awesome Bruce Timm cover of The Adventures of Superman. You get about, 4 stories?
I think it's 3.
3 stories?
3 10-page stories, because they do it's the digital comics put into print, basically.
Right. So you get the 3 digital comics put into print. You get, I don't really know any of these people.
Abnett Lanning, the guys who worked on Legion forever. Tom DeFalco used to be the editor-in-chief of Marvel, did Spider-Girl and stuff.
Okay.
And Chris Weston is a big artist back in the day. He's slow, so getting 10 pages out of him wasn't probably too hard, but it's cool. I haven't read those yet, but they look good.
Also, I mean, the fact that I don't know the artists or writers too much, and they're not big names. That's one of the more appealing things about The Adventures of Superman.
They're kind of big names.
Well, right, but it is one of the more appealing parts of The Adventures of Superman. You get to see, some really creative people experiment with a character they love, but without being bound down to...
It always reminds me of just watching a few episodes of the Superman cartoon, the Bruce Timm animated series, because it's, pretty continuity free, just Superman stories.
Right. So if you haven't already got these digitally, definitely get them in print. Are they going to be putting these in trades?
I think so, because I think the Batman ones are not even going to put in comic books anymore. They're going to go digital and then go to print, go to trade.
Okay.
So I bet they'll end up doing that with Superman if the Batman does well.
Yeah. I hope that the Batman is doing well. I mean, it did do well throughout the 90s with Legends of the Dark Knight.
I mean, I know the digital stuff is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
And that's pretty much it from DC. I don't even think, neither of our picks of the week are DC. The first time, I won't even talk about my pick of the week just yet. I was just about to go crazy.
Okay. Alright, so we ready for Marvel?
Absolutely.
So first up, we got the Infinity tie-in with Captain Marvel.
Woo!
If you guys have been paying attention to Infinity, this is following the Avengers in space. We'll talk about the Avengers at home in a minute. But, this is the Avengers off in space trying to deal with the Builders while Thanos is sneaking around on Earth. But, Captain Marvel, Jessica Drew, all your Avengers Assemble friends are in that comic book, so you should be reading that up. So it's number 11 of FF, so that means Fantastic Four number 11. Is that the first appearance of Impossible Man?
It is, Fantastic Four is the first, number 11 is the first appearance of Impossible Man.
It's time for Impossible Man.
My favorite fun fact about Impossible Man, I know I've shared this with you, is Impossible Man is the only character to exist in the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe.
When did he exist in the DC universe?
He's Mr. Mxyzptlk.
No, he's not. They've met.
Oh, really? They ruined that?
Yeah, I mean, they've done crossover. They've done.
Oh, because they referenced that.
I mean, they're
the
friends,
same
and they
guy.
might even be from the same. But I don't think they're supposed to be the same guy.
No, I've heard the reference to the fact that they're the same guy.
They've met, so I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's comic books. Who cares? But.
Yeah, never mind. But the Impossible Man is awesome.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Now, okay, back to Avengers.
You ruined my fun fact about Impossible Man. I have nothing except he appears.
He's green.
He is green. He's kooky.
That's how Warlock beat him, because Warlock can change colors and Impossible Man can't.
What is yours up?
It was New Mutants Annual.
Okay.
It was pretty awesome.
I did not read
It was
that. I was going to say that. I don't know.
Warlock from the New Mutants, not Adam Warlock.
Not Adam Warlock. Oh, then I'm really not interested. Because Adam Warlock is awesome.
Adam Warlock's not bad. But Warlock from the New Mutants is awesome too.
Yeah. What about New Avengers?
Alright. So, again, this is following the track of the Avengers on Earth. So it's not Iceman, Iron Man, Wolverine, and some X-Men show up. I haven't read it yet, but I flipped through it and it looks pretty cool. So I think this is the first issue where we're really dealing with Thanos on Earth. Because everything else has been in space.
Oh, really?
I think so. The other stuff I've read is just all been the space stuff.
Is it Iron Man? Have we gotten proof that that's Tony Stark?
I think in the Avengers stuff they set up that he is back on Earth and is in the armor.
Where was it? Where was it? Kind of. See, it wasn't suggested. Where is it? What issue? What comic book? I get them so mixed up. The Marvel Universe is doing a great job of really leaking into other books. But when does Iron Man say that I'm not really on Earth? You're talking to a drone. Is that an issue of Avengers?
I think
he does do that.
I think it's Avengers, but I don't remember. Yeah, that's the idea. So you can be in Guardians of the Galaxy out in space and be on Earth.
Yeah.
He was remote control, and I think it was Avengers.
Yeah.
But I could easily be wrong. Feel free to correct us in the comments.
Exactly.
Next up, we got the big finale of Thanos Rising.
Gosh.
He's angry and killing people, as always.
No one is safe from this horribly graphically violent book.
It's been awesome.
It's so violent.
Thanos. Yeah. But yeah. So, again, tying into... I don't know if it ties in directly, but certainly this is the backstory of Thanos and death and all the fun.
It revealed that she is death in the last issue, which we knew. I mean, anyone that's kind of familiar with Thanos knew that. But
her skin off.
God, yeah, that was so gross. It really is good. It really is.
It's awesome. Jason Aaron pretty much at his best.
Yep.
Next up, we got some Uncanny X-Men. I think some Sentinels showed up at the end of the last one. Wasn't that what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Yep, Sentinels showed up. Cyclops will smash them, theoretically.
With his X-eyes.
Yeah. And then last up that I got is Young Avengers. And if you read last issue, there's some love triangle type stuff going on. And I think we get to deal with it here. It was pretty awesome. As I said, my friend Jeff was very sad. Because he does not like where they're taking Prodigy. But,
poor Hulkling.
Yeah. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Teenagers in love, what are you gonna do?
And if you haven't been reading this, but you did write Karen Gillan's Journey to Mystery stuff, Lida, the girl, shows up back in here. I think she's going to end up being on the team.
If you liked Karen Gillan's Journey into Mystery stuff and you're not reading this, you're a fool.
Because it's awesome.
I mean, because I guarantee you the only reason why you really enjoyed his Journey into Mystery stuff was you like Kid Loki.
Yeah.
And this is Kid Loki's book now.
And it's amazing.
Or just Loki's book. Yeah, same person.
It depends on how you look at it.
It's kooky comic book crap. Alright, well I guess it's time for my pick of the week. And other than the big ol' omnibus, my pick of the week is not coming from DC and not coming from Marvel. I think it's the first time I've picked a independently tiered comic book. But it's from the good guys at where if you can find it. The freak is it? There it is. It is from the good guys Art Balthazar and Franco, writers of Superman Family Adventures and Tiny Titans. It is Itty Bitty Hellboy. So if you like Hellboy and you love those Tiny Titans and issues, it is The Two Had a Baby.
Yeah,
And
same,
Baby
just the
was
same
Baby
thing. Just
Hellboy.
doing it with Hellboy instead of the Titans.
Right. So
Theoretically. Again,
it's
I haven't read it yet, but
it's All Yeah Comics, the creators of All Yeah Comics, and they're just having fun in the Hellboy universe, and it looks great. It looks like it's a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be, knowing these guys, it's going to be really accessible to kids. So you got nothing to worry about.
except for the fact that it's got hell in the title.
Exactly. So that might be the craziest, most jarring thing. But I met these guys at San Diego, and I talked to them, and they're really funny. And you know, they don't. These guys, like any other comic book creator, do not like to be confined, but they do love to play with big names, and they love writing for kids. So it's cool that they have the opportunity to, something they love. They love to read Hellboy, but Hellboy is not necessarily. You wouldn't give Hellboy Goes to Hell to a 6-year-old.
I mean, as much as I love Hellboy, that story is so confusing. I don't know if I want to give it to an adult.
Right, exactly. So give it to
But it is awesome.
This for like a 5-year-old it's awesome. It's accessible, other than the word hell. But you know what? Get over it.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about buying this for your kid, it's probably good. And like all good All Yeah comics, I'm pretty sure. Let's check it. They usually have games and puzzles in them. I thought I saw it, but
Let's see one.
uh-oh, maybe not games and puzzles. But
It's a letters page. But
oh well, what are you gonna do? You get some bonus content to read. The Star Wars, which is the first draft of Lucas's Star Wars. If you want a sample of that, buy EDB Hellboy. You'll enjoy it. I'm done talking about that.
okay. Whatever, Forrest.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. My pick of the week, I know it's cliche for me at this point, but it's Wolverine the X-Men. Not just because it's Wolverine the X-Men. This issue is awesome. It's the end of the Hellfire Club battle with the Hellfire Academy and stuff. Some big Krakoa stuff. Some big Quentin Quire. It was awesome. This is the only comic I've read so far this week.
Iceman Voltron. Does he make an appearance again?
He's in it a little bit, but not
Okay.
much. He's not a major factor.
That was sweet.
It was sweet. Some going-ons with Brew, if you're interested in that character. Some
Ooh.
other stuff. I mean, it pretty much wraps up everything that's been going on in this book right now because it's about to start tying into Battle of the Atom.
Excellent.
But the most important part, who cares about any of that stuff, is the last page, which I'm not going to show you, but Marvel has already spoiled it by showing you this. The return of Nightcrawler happens in this comic book. So if you love Nightcrawler, and why would you not?
Yeah, who doesn't? Like, come on.
Buy this comic, and then come back in a few months and buy The Amazing X-Men by Jason Aaron, and it was the quest for Nightcrawler.
It's my Nightcrawler hand.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I mean...
But yeah, I'm super excited about Nightcrawler.
What, 3 more months until Amazing X-Men?
This is in November, so...
Just what we need.
Pretty much right after the Battle of the Atom.
Another freaking X-Men book.
Yeah, but an awesome...
I know, I'm not knocking it at
Jason
all.
Aaron, Ed McGuinness, Nightcrawler, Firestar.
It's an awesome
be
time to be
awesome.
an X-Men fan.
No doubt.
It's...
This is the best the X-Men have been, probably since Claremont and Byrne.
Yeah, since the 80s, so yeah.
No, that's the 70s, dude.
Oh, really? That bold of a statement?
I think so.
Lest you forget Rob Liefeld?
I do forget him.
Alright.
He wasn't on the X-Men anyway. That was X-Force. And the New Mutants.
It was crap is what it was. I know. What am I talking about? I never really read that stuff.
It was cool at the time. But
Yeah.
you go back and look at it, and it's not good.
Yeah. Things have to change. Now we're just talking about Rob Liefeld, and that's no fun for anybody.
That is true.
I almost said something when we started the podcast. I almost said, I'm Matt Wood, and here is I was going to come up with you are the something to my something, and I was gonna call you that hunchback that used to work in the Batcave.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't remember that guy from Batman comics that he worked with?
Oh, I thought you meant the
No,
store.
not the store. Not the store.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What's
I
his
can't
name?
remember his
Harold?
Yeah,
Harry?
Harold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, I think was his name.
I was going to say you're the Harry to my
I don't
Alfred.
fix the Batmobile. I don't fix your car and stuff, though.
You'd also talk.
That's
Remember,
true.
he was mute.
Does
Didn't
that mean-
didn't like Hush shoot him or something like that?
Yeah, Hush, he turned out to be a villain, Hush or something, and so is Riddler, and I don't know. That's why I don't like that story much, because the ending made no sense. The rest of it was awesome, but the
Yeah.
ending failed badly.
They got rid of that guy. When's he gonna show back up in comic books?
Probably never. I mean, I guess he could show up in Maybe he'll show up in Year Zero.
That'd be
dude.
cool. Snyder needs to wake up.
Oh,
We need
that'd
more
be cool.
hunchbacks working on the Batmobile, and we need. I mean, Snyder turned on the robot Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's true.
And that was awesome. Okay, this is going off the rails. So tell them where we're at.
We're at 255 Ferris Road behind good old UCA.
Good old UCA. Welcome back to school, children.
I do not welcome you.
Yeah.
You're making my life horrible.
Yeah, this place has been busy, and so have I. I'm about to go home and grade papers. So
Yeah, I'm about to go home and read comics.
yeah, I know. I'll probably end up grading 4 papers and then reading comics, and then
Just slaps Maze
Yeah.
randomly on those papers like normal.
yeah, exactly. Well, from the SecretLifeComicBooks.blogspot.com, I'm Matt Wood.
And I'm Brian Wood. Party on.
Buddy, what are you doing?
I was doing, I don't
You're
know, some
combining,
Wayne Moore,
Wayne's World with like comic books.
I'm not Brian Wood, by the way.
Does that make me Garth?
Yeah, I'm Wayne. Duh.
I could live with being Garth.
No, you're
Garth.
probably actually Wayne. I'm probably more Garth.
You wear glasses. You have long hair.
It's true.
But I guess
So
Mike
Wayne-
Myers had. You know, Wayne had long hair. That's a good movie. That's your homework for tonight. Read your comic books and watch Wayne's World. Goodbye. You love the, no,
I know, I like the physical stuff, especially now that I know why you're doing it.